most requiring effort work package from your side. And so I would like to recap a little bit what is expected and what are we doing. Basically, what is expected from this work package is the creation of the Innovation Support Office and the running of the Innovation Support Office with some outcome. So here is a summary of pointing out what is written in the objective, but what I think considered crucial is this point that I want to remark to you. We are expected at the end of a project to have 12 new Innovation Support Office running, which has been defined in terms of regulation, vision, mission, strategy, infrastructure, staff, and I've got the possibility to have a list of advisors for potential entrepreneur with creation of 24 spin-offs. Wow. As you can understand, there is a lot of effort here, a lot of requirement from your side, and all the how to say, commitment from our side to support you. Because of course, this is the outcome that at the end the Commission is going to measure. They are going to make a comparison from what we have promised in the plan and what we have achieved at the end. Correct? Noelia?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't listening, but I was thinking about the numbers, and I was just telling to Lauren about the numbers. In order to get the proposal approved, you really need to be ambitious with the numbers.
Yes.
It's not real at all. That's not real at all, the 24 of creating. So I think we should focus on the advising the entrepreneurs and having some ideas that are more potential ideas that can become a business, and that's what we should report back to the Commission, because creating a spin-off can take
a lot of time. Yes, a lot of time. Yes.
So in the framework of the project, well,
probably could be a good idea already to have a starting of some spin-off creation. Not to have achieved the final result that the spin-off has been established, but the starting off.
Yeah,
so that the process is running.
Yeah, that's what we should focus on.
Yes,
yeah.
but all the other point, I think it's crucial.
The spin-off regulation, or the other, sorry, can you come back? The spin-off regulation, vision, mission.
All of them should be there.
All of that, we have to do it. It's
Yes.
the only one that is not.
It's the last one.
Achievable is the.
Good. I was worried about that.
No, don't worry. We were all worried.
And you were worried too, I think.
Don't worry.
So it's better we can relax at least on this point.
Not too much.
Not too much. Well, if we achieve that point, it will be a plus, and we can get something more. So, still go on the goal, still keep on the goal, but we have a way wide. How is the work package structured? It is organized in task activity. We started with a brainstorming and working group, and we developed some aspects concerning the possibility to improve the legislation for the creation of the Innovation Support Office. And most of this point has been already fixed because it was uploaded the result of the meeting in Genoa, the plan, etc. In fact, all these elements are included in subtasks, and most of them have been done. What still is open is from 3.3 to 3.6, which is one of a set of activity in which all the Central America education institutions are involved mostly. Because in that case, it's you being first actor and we being just a supporter. Yeah. And in this sense, as I mentioned, I'm sure all of us are committed to support you. So wherever it's a time in which you are facing any kind of issue, concern or other, please contact us, and probably we can try to support you using our experience, solving some cases based on our experience that should be translated in your specific reality, because legislation, normative, procedure within the academia are different from country to country and from university to university. However, still is on our side to do it. The brainstorming working group was performed basically in Genoa. It led to a document that has been uploaded on the website. And regarding the legislation, I want to remark that nowadays we have collected the information from Alicante and Genoa, and those have been completely uploaded on the Dropbox. I'm going to list a little bit some of the documents that are available, and I want to remark also that concerning Glasgow, it was not possible because the procedure is open in the sense that there is no regulation.
Yeah,
they don't have a regulation. This is more related to the fact, and I want to remark that if you have understood, Glasgow is focused on innovation, on spin-off by student. In our case, both in Alicante and in Genoa, spin-off by researcher.
yeah.
This makes completely different, because being researcher staff of the university, you need regulation. Being student, you can be quite open, free of any specific procedure, in some sense more flexible, but in this case again, we thought that your institution may be much more interested in understanding the procedure for researcher promoting spin-offs, and in this case much more closer to University of Alicante and University of Genoa, as I said. Once that this has been created, we hope that using this material you are going to be able to create your regulation, your forms, your documents, because the task 3.3 in fact goes to a specific creation of a 12 innovation support office at your institution. This innovation support office should be populated by specific trained staff. In fact, we have, as Noelia has mentioned, the list of skills that should be characterizing the position have been already set up in order that you are able to recruit. In some cases, recruitment has been already taking place because it was foreseen for December 2017, so last December. But this element is crucial because they are at the end running the Innovation Support Office. And in fact, in deliverables 3.5 is expected to have a bank structure of an Innovation Support Office. That again is on your responsibility, because a lot of deliverables that are foreseen for this task are simply collection of your regulation, collection of your activity that we have responsibility to do, but in tight cooperation with you. And finally is the operation, so how to support the knowledge, and this is again a link with the work package 2, because the workshop were closed to this kind of element. The possibility to have exploitation of research result, so again this is the stimulus to have spin-off created by research. And finally the start of some operation with some pilot workshop and some internal information events, and possibly if some starting activity for the creation of real spin-off.
Yeah.
Concerning the status of the deliverable, as I mentioned, 3.1 is finished completely, and the same is for 3.2. So we assume these two elements to be closed, and in particular here is the list of all the documents you can find there, in English, in Italian, concerning Genova, and in Spanish concerning Alicante. So we hope that this set of several documents can be sufficient for you. If they are not, we can add more. So if you see something missing there, please take into account that all these documents should be available. So if some documents are not there, we will check why and we will upload it. But most of them should be the template of a business plan. You see the agreement, the transfer, the technology transfer agreement, anything should be already there. All the one I personally mentioned during my presentation, so it's the real set. And then concerning 3.4, as mentioned, we need to identify for each of your university who will be the staff selected to be in charge of creating and management the documentation for the internal regulation, the form, etc. We would like to have this information back quite soon, because this will be a direct link that could facilitate both in interacting and supporting timely the result of his outcome. Once this is achieved, of course, the equipment should be purchased, and in this sense, of course, there are some regulations that Gabi is going again to point you out, because we are Commission commitment concerning equipment as durable goods, and we must take care about that. It's not a trivial point, and I know she's going to spend a lot of time on that. Correctly, to spend a lot of time. And finally, to set up the services, which is the running of a spin-off, because at least it's clear that the final goal of 24 spin-off established, it's a dream, a will, but to show that the system is running, it's something we have to have. So we need absolutely not only to have procedure, but running procedure. Here is the timing, and some of this has been closed. And in particular, there is a point we would like to point you out, is the development of the Innovation Support Office. We would like to see if it's possible for you to think that for July 2018, this legislation form, process, procedure has been established in your institution.
And approved?
Approved will be the best. Approved will be the best. Personally, our suggestion is to let approve a regulation, and in parallel to prepare the form for the process.
That you have the procedure.
Yes, because the regulation requires time to go to different consultancy within the university, requires time, there can be some cyclical revision and amendments, so that's really something that is not directly on your control. And my suggestion is start as soon as possible with the internal regulation. This is the first. And in this sense, again, please make use for anything is possible our base as a guideline. And if there is some specific, we can also cooperate. We have link also with other institutions that are running the ISO for several years, and maybe your problem is not closer to our one, but we know some university we are closer to your, and we can make this link to understand how they solved some issue. So this could be something I can suggest you, because some which are close to our experience is fine, but of course, as I mentioned, usually what you do, and you are doing in this case, is to create a network, to exchange experience, and also to exchange different kind of problems related to specific requirements. Maybe possible it is not Alicante is that kind of requirement, maybe possible Genoa is not, but we know someone who has something similar, and we can ask how do you solve that issue for you. So that's why I said to you, please let's have an interaction. But still, it's crucial. The point.
Just what you are saying, that is very important, that now they are in the phase of development of these regulations, that they have close contact with us. And
yes. From this point, I would like to remark that we are expecting, after this meeting, we are going to send you an email asking who will be the two persons in charge of interacting concerning regulation, process, forms, etc. Because we want to have a direct contact, a clear responsibility in your institution. It's a key point. Okay? Fixed this element. Our request is to arrive by July, because after that we need to show that the system is running. And in principle, it is assumed to have 2 periods. So July, it's a time that allows us to have a first and second period of 6 months, because it's written that we have to test it for a period of 6 months, at least 2. That's why we set that deadline. Of course, it's clear it's clear some processes are not completely under your control. Depends on all the organization of a university, and that's why suggestion is to start as soon as possible with the regulation, internal regulation. Once this is done, as you can see, there will be the staff who should already been recruited because the deadline was expected to be December last year. Then there is the infrastructure, which again, in principle,
I don't understand.
Please.
You don't have the office, but you already have the staff. I thought it was a mistake and it would cover.
what? That you have sometimes the staff and not yet the regulation.
No.
Yes. Because some people, in some cases, some people was recruited before because was recruited at the time the project was launched. So we have in cases people who was recruited to become staff of the Innovation Support Office from the beginning of the project.
Is that staff supposed to be full-time, just attending?
That is something that depends on your university. It's something that is absolutely, I think, depending on your university. We just assume there will be staff that is working for the service offered by the Innovation Support Office, but no specific request
It
on
would be
that.
someone that is already working in the University office and is going to provide services.
Someone in administration that is moved to be specialized in this topic. I mean, that can be any option in principle. But at the end, it's clear that someone is going to run the Innovation Support Office. And as you see, we have to close by October 29, 2019.
Yeah.
And in that case, of course, it's the deadline of the project that is going to be presented to the Commission with the outcome. I would like to remark really, finally, it's crucial that from 3.3 to 3.6 is you being the actors and we being supporters. You can all count on us. We are available for you, but it's in your hand to create the Innovation Support Office. Okay? Do you have any question from my side? Ninguna pregunta? Okay. Señorita Castellano. Gracias.
¿Por qué no hablamos en inglés?
Porque yo quiero que tú me demanda de hablar en italiano. So,
Y yo te pregunté.
tú pregúntame en italiano.
Perché parla in inglese se tu sai parlare in spagnolo? Perché
sono muy ridicolo in spagnolo.
come me in italiano, è lo stesso.
Puede cumplir en español, en castellano, ma hablar. Hoy hablar es complicado.
Sí, no.
Por mañana.
Domani.
Poco.
Para la conferencia final.
Oscar,
Silvano.
para la conferencia final, la presentación
Castellano.
en castellano y español. Oscar.
Sí, terminamos ahora y...
La pregunta en español puede confirmar.
Pero te va a contestar en inglés, ¿eh?
Para contestar en inglés o italiano.
O italiano.
So my question is, I understood that your spin-off is of know-how more than of technology.
That's a peculiarity I told you. There is this is specific characteristic of Genoa related to the Italian legislation. Since the invention is owned by the researcher, there is no need for many researchers to transfer the knowledge to the university. Especially in the case there is no need for knowledge to become patented. And this is clear in the point I mentioned of the dichotomy between number of spin-off, 47, number of patent, 90, number of patent used by spin-off, 3. This is not the case for anyone. As Alicante pointed out, in Alicante, the ownership belongs to the university. So again, in this case, depending on the institution, if your legislation is more similar to the Italian one, probably you have to take inspiration to our regulation. If your institution is similar to the Alicante one, so the Universidad University, you should take the inspiration from the Alicante one. But this is, I think, positive, because you have different alternatives to evaluate depending on your specific characteristics. In our case, it's knowledge-based. So, in particular, the spin-off I'm running is knowledge-based. Still, it has some software, and we decided to have an agreement with university, but it was ethical decision.
So, and from your opinion or point of view, it's easier to make a researcher to have that kind of spin-off? Like because at the end, because he has the knowledge, he has everything, to make them want to have a way to commercialize their knowledge? Or is better to grab researchers that will do technology and let them know that instead of publications, it's better to commercialize the solution? So, is there a way that is more easier to move them from their comfortable area of research?
I hope I was able to understand the point, because if I understood correctly, this is a crucial element. Of course, there is a trade-off between knowledge becoming publication, which is crucial for growing career in academia, and knowledge becoming fruitful for business opportunity. It's a trade-off. And the tendency, especially for young scholar, is to go more for publication than for business. Except in the case they are willing just to stay in academia for a while, but the idea is to become entrepreneur. They feel to have a strong characteristic in entrepreneurial attitude. Most of the cases is not that. Most of the scholars have not this kind of attitude. In particular, if a university is able to be flexible enough to support not only research being applied or basic, fundamental, but also consultancy as well as some kind of business activity. In that case, many scholars do not feel the need to create a spin-off. So, as much as university will be able to support any opportunity in the market, no spin-off will be created. Because spin-off have cost in terms of fiscal commitment, law commitment, regulation, blah, blah, blah. If I can do it all of them within my department, much more easier, frankly speaking. On the opposite side, if I'm looking to have an opportunity for transferring my knowledge in some real business that may change my life, or life of someone else, can be even a PhD student, because I usually get really in good relationship with my PhD student and postdocs. So in that case, situation changed completely. And you may find it interesting to create a spin-off. That's my personal experience. I don't know if I was able to reply to you with my personal view. Of course, it's a personal view. It's my experience.
Yeah, but that's what I was